With the 43rd pick in this year's NBA draft, the Blazers selected Ryan Rupert out of France. And I'll be honest, I was a little bit behind on watching some of his film. I knew that he was a good defensive player who was a little bit raw offensively. But as I watched his game a little bit more in the past couple of days since this draft pick, I love what the Blazers did with the 43rd overall pick. The Blazers took him over some impressive prospects that surprisingly slid, including Sidy Cissoko, Gigi Jackson, and a personal favorite of mine, Keontae Johnson, but Rupert makes a ton of sense for what this Portland Trail Blazers team needs. Most mock drafts had Rupert as a first-round grade, and Joe Cronin said he had a lottery grade on Rupert. Well, I think that's a little bit too high. I can kinda see the logic. Last season, Rupert played for the New Zealand Breakers of the National Basketball League in Australia. According to Tankathon, Rupert played in 31 games, averaging 18 minutes per game, shooting 31% from 3, 74% from the free throw line, and 37% from the field. There's no 2-point percentage listed, but that I think is around 41% from 2. Offensively, Rupert is not there yet, but he's extremely young. He just turned 19 years old on May 31st. His birthday is a year and a day after Shaedon Sharp's, so he'll be a day younger during his rookie season than Sharp was. And what's funny about this pick is Rupert has been widely listed as a shooting guard, and when he was selected, a lot of Blazer fans said, "Oh look, it's another guard." But when you look at his measurements, they absolutely jump off the page. Rupert is 6'6" without shoes, but has a massive 7'2" wingspan, which he uses well on the defensive side of the floor. He has an 8'10" standing reach. For context, here's some similar players with similar standing reaches. John Collins had an 8'10.5" standing reach. Jaylen Brown's standing reach is 3.5 inches shorter at 8'6.5". Julius Randle's standing reach is shorter at 8'9.5". Aaron Gordon's standing reach is shorter at 8'9". Jeremy Grant's standing reach is only an inch taller at 8'11". When you look at a lot of the power forwards in the league, they have similar standing reaches to Rupert. I think Rupert has the length to play either forward position. I truly think he has the length to play power forward. Now obviously there's a lot more that goes into that. Strength is a big deal and Rupert needs to develop his body and become a stronger player. And Rupert is also best defending the perimeter. But if he can bulk up long term, this guy could be a truly versatile defensive piece that is able to guard 4 positions. And given his youth, he has time to bulk up. And maybe he can grow another inch or 2. I never count on that happening, but if that could happen for this guy, he could become one of the best defenders in the league. Because Rupert is quick laterally, uses his 7'2" wingspan to poke at the ball, disrupt ball handlers. From what I've seen, he's decent getting through screens, but I need to see more tape on that, and that's something I'll be looking for in Summer League. And Rupert is truly disruptive at the point of attack. I've talked about it all offseason. The Blazers need point of attack defenders. They need guys that can defend on the perimeter, disrupt opposing ball handlers, get through screens, and they need guys with length. Rupert brings all of that in spades. He also plays the passing lanes well, is a solid team defender, and truly has potential to be great on that end. I've talked about it in previous draft classes where a lot of steals that come late in the first round going into the second round are long defensive-minded players that are able to develop offensively. Or maybe guys that are solid offensive players coming to the draft and then become better defensive players than people thought they would be. And a lot of those guys have length and agility and a decent amount of athleticism and basically all the traits that Rupert has. I have no doubt that Rupert will end up being a good NBA defender, and this is what the Portland Trail Blazers need. I applaud the Blazers front office for drafting Rupert at 43, finding an archetype, finding a forward that has some defensive versatility. Will he be a good defender from day one? I'm not sure. I think he might need to add a little bit more strength, and then there's some things that rookies in the NBA have to learn, and processing the game at the NBA speed takes some time. But after trading 2 second-round picks for Matisse Thybulle at last year's trade deadline, I think the Blazers might have someone similar to him right off the bat. But the question marks with Ryan Rupert come on the offensive side of the ball. But when I dove in on the tape, I was pleasantly surprised by some things that I didn't really notice about him from the little bit of research I did before. And I truly think Rupert has a lot of potential on the offensive side of the ball. When watching a bit more tape, the first thing that really jumped out to me was how fast Rupert processed things as a guy with the ball in his hands. Most of the time when you see raw defensive prospects, they aren't guys that read defenses with the ball in their hands quickly. Normally guys like this have a lot of problems offensively, and one of the biggest is they aren't playmakers or aren't guys that can really make reads. And I think last year in the NBL, Rupert showcased that he can process the game at a pro level. While some of the skills need to catch up to that, with him being only 19 years old, I'm more looking for feel with these types of prospects. And I think his feel on the offensive end is what's going to get him by. Occasionally he would run some pick and rolls as a ball handler and make the right pocket pass or the right hook pass to the opposite wing to a shooter. I think Rupert actually has some playmaking upside as a guy with the ball in his hands. And I think he moves decently well with the ball also. I think he's a solid, smooth athlete that can already handle the basketball a little bit, and when you put that at a small forward or power forward position in the NBA, it's an intriguing skill set. At the very least, I think Rupert will be able to be a really good defender who's a connective piece offensively, who can hopefully make the right cut, make the right pass, and knock down threes. Where the struggles come for him is with that shot. The percentages weren't good, but I think his form is okay, and I think he has potential to become a solid NBA three-point shooter. Still, he's not there yet, and he's a guy that defenses will probably be able to play off of a little bit over his first couple NBA seasons. And then he's also not going to provide much as a one-on-one scorer. He's not a good enough pull-up shooter. Defenders can back off on him. He doesn't have the quickest first step and can't really use his body yet, as he doesn't have the strength to be able to move defenders or shield defenders on drives. The most wildly optimistic upside for Rupert is a guy that can maybe develop into more of a 1v1 scorer, where the ball handling and being able to make the right reads ties together with his smoothness and agility to become a guy that can break people down off the dribble, attack off pick and rolls, and then he could be a really good NBA player. But that is probably 4 years away if it's achievable for him at all. But that's why I love this pick for the Portland Trail Blazers. He's a guy that has great measurements, should end up being a really good NBA defender in my opinion, and then offensively has a lot of traits that I think you can mold and develop, and has some sneaky potential. I think there's a legitimate chance that Rupert could be the best player taken in the second round. Given some of the flashes that he's shown offensively, I understand why people might have had a lottery grade on him, and I understand why Cronin might have as well. It'll be interesting to see how much of the offensive side of the ball he can tap into over the coming years. It'll be a lot of fun to watch this guy in Summer League though, and I think he could pleasantly surprise some people. And watching him, I was kind of reminded a little bit of Nick Batum with some of the playmaking and the way he handled the ball and the defensive prowess. If he can become Nick Batum 2.0, he's a steal with the 43rd pick in the NBA draft. Anyway, let me know what you guys think of Rayan Rupert down in the comment section below. If you're curious of my thoughts on the Blazers' other two draft picks, Scoot Henderson and Chris Murray, I've already dropped videos on those guys, so check those out as well. And with that being said, I'm out of here. I'll catch you in the next video, and that's going to be a juicy one. Until next time, as always, peace out. Go Blazers.